Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to ADHD Hobbies and another episode of some Starfield. In this video, I'm going to cover some basics on what you need to do to build a thriving outpost, a hub for gathering all the materials and resources that you need for bigger builds, or maybe you're just after the challenge of building one of these things for the heck of it like I did. Either way, we're going to cover some quick basics, and that means covering some skills. We're going to jump over here to our science section. One of the big ones to take a look at is going to be the outpost engineering. You're going to see a lot of, stats that it's going to apply here and allow you to just build better bases. The planetary habitations also one, a few ranks in it won't hurt. You may not need to max it out if you're not trying to be too extreme on some of your planets, but it's not a bad one. It does open up a wider range of planets to look at. And then outpost management. A few points in this one as well can be beneficial. Again, it's not one that I've maxed out, but it's not bad if you do it. After you get the skills, there's some research we got to do. Get a research lab inside your base or wherever you can find one, and hop over here to outpost development. This is where you're going to unlock all the different furniture sets, building sets, technology, and things that you want to fill your outpost with outside of the little trinkets and things that you pick up out in the world. Alright, you got all the knowledge, and now you need to put it to use and figure out where we're going to build our base and our outpost. I chose the Heisenberg system. It's a level 55. It's not too bad, but it had multiple planets and places where I felt like I could set up mines and get all the resources that I needed without having to jump all over the different solar systems. There's even a planet out here at the Helium in case I did decide to venture out like that. Once you have your system, you got to find your home planet. The Heisenberg 5A I went with. All this different colorization here is great. It means you're going to be able to find a lot of different resources packed really close to each other. So as you go through the planets, look around, trying to find things where you got a lot of different overlap like this, because you can find resources and nice little clumps where you can set up a base that helps prevent you from having to build too many bases. Once you've identified a potential site, you can take a land, and one of the quickest ways to see if you can have multiple resources is if you can see two biomes that clash like this. On one side you can see the trees, and on the other side you can see the snow and everything. And since I know I'm directly on a line right here, I have a really high chance of being able to find multiple resources in this spot. And with all the frigates hopping around, you guessed it, this place was a gold mine. I had aluminum off to the side over here. I have iron over here, it looks like. Yeah, down below, I had one of the chlorosalines, whatever that is, and beryllium. So I had 4 spots, and since I could mine 4 things here, I decided to make this my hub. And I also built 6 landing pads here, so that as I spread out across the system, I could have everything come here, and it makes everything easy to keep consolidated, so there's not a lot of traveling looking for resources. Once you have your main outpost set up, it's time to venture out and go find planets that you need to conquer to get other resources. You do not need to set up entire outpost bases for this. You just need a landing pad, you need a power supply to run the mines, and that's it. After that, set up some storage, connect them all to it, and then connect that storage to the landing pad, and you're done. This is a simple outpost. This was a basic one with just one resource. But you can also make additional outposts that have multiple resources, and they're not much more complicated to build. You're still going to need a power supply, and you're going to need a much bigger power supply, but you're still going to link all the different resources up the same way, and you're still going to link them all to a storage system on a landing platform. Not much changes here at all. It's the exact same setup. Just make sure you have one resource per platform. And now that we've built everything, we want to link it all up and watch it work. Go find a platform of your choice and go hit the control panel. From here we have lots of options. The first thing we want to check is make sure that everything is hooked up correctly. From here it looks like it, but I first want to take a look at some of the features of it. The helium container here is in case this platform is used for anything going to a different system altogether. You would have to hook helium up to this. The plus side to that, only one of those platforms has to have helium going to it. The one in the other system does not. This link is for the incoming. Anything that a frigate brings in will go to that box, and you'll see that I sent it to some other storage boxes. That way I have an overfill and they can keep bringing more. If I was using this as outgoing like the other systems, I'd use that box instead of the first one. Now that we've done all that, we want to link it up to the very specific system that we're after. Here you're going to find a list of available links that we have open in the system. So we can go here and look in Surma, and I need platinum for this one, so we can click it. Once we've clicked it, you can see the icons off to the side over here to let you know exactly which system you're linked up to and let you know exactly which platform and which resource you're hooked up to, so you don't have to do too much with the guessing game. Once we get everything hooked up, now it's time to make it run smoothly, and to do that, we need to add management. First thing, before you can add people to your base, you need to build crew stations, and the more people you want in your base, you guessed it, more crew stations you're going to need. After that, you can go to your ship menu, and there's a crew button down there you can hit for computer at sea. Here you can take a look at your crew and try to pick the one that has the best stats that you feel overall will help your base. Andrea, she's someplace we're not going to talk about it. But there's a couple of them down here that look great, like Raphael. He has outpost engineering and outpost management. So all I have to do is click the companion that I want and then click the base that I want him to go to. It's quite simple. If you can't put the companion there, the game will let you know, and it's fine. You can just go upgrade this through some of the stats that I demonstrated earlier. Well, I'd like to thank you for sticking around to the end for the quick video on how to do an outpost here in Starfield. They're not that complicated, but they do take a little bit of work and some links to be made. As always, I enjoyed making this, and thank you very much for your time and hanging out to the very end. Until next adventure, you have a good day.